Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR, HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
Welcome to Radio AMB, designed for those who want to live a long and vibrant life. We think pretty is pretty important for all things in beauty. Welcome to Radio AMB, designed for those who want to live a long and vibrant life. I am Alicia Benkovich, your host, and someone who feels passionately about the health and beauty products and services we all rely on to live a beautiful and vivacious life. Radio AMB, which stands for American Made Beauty, where we tell the secrets behind the making of health and beauty products. This segment sponsor today is AmericanMadeBeauty.com, a beauty platform designed to help consumers find beauty companies that are implementing the industry's best practices to bring you quality products and services. Go to AmericanMadeBeauty.com to find beauty products and services that meet a strict set of standards that reflect their American heritage. With the world becoming a more culturally diverse place, the natural hair movement has sprung up from the higher demand for multicultural hair care products from consumers. Not only are consumers' needs changing when it comes to hair texture, but so are the fashion and beauty arenas. There are more and more models, celebrities, and prominent figures that do not fit into the same homogenized role as years past. With history having been made at the last Victoria's Secret show, when they featured Angola model Maria Borges with her short, textured hair walk the runway, the natural hair movement has come into its own. She had walked for VS shows in the past, but it was always with long, flowing wigs and extensions. This time they broke with tradition. Why, do you ask, did it take this long for VS to allow a natural hairstyle to walk their coveted runway? In short, beauty norms and the same traditional beauty standards are hard to break away from, but there has been a real grassroots movement towards embracing what your own individual beauty is and what that beauty looks like. The move toward embracing one's natural texture has been slowly building over the past 10 years. With more and more established brands, as well as new specialized hair care lines offering textured hair products hitting the store shelves, the brands are now listening to what the consumer needs. Of course, we can also thank the beauty information mecca that is YouTube for helping to spread the word and educate people on how to make the transition to owning your texture, and the hair care brands are listening. There are even communities and organizations forming the trend and is morphing into more of a lifestyle. My guest today has a very close connection to the natural textured hair movement, and we will discuss what she sees happening from her salon and where she thinks we are headed in terms of trends and the natural movement in general. So during our featured segment, you will meet Dede Ford and hear how she got her start in the business and how passionate and knowledgeable she is about textured hair. During the segment we call In the Jar, you will learn the way the natural hair movement has transcended the cultural gap. And during our segment called Beauty That's Sold Deep, you'll hear how the natural hair movement is becoming more than just a trend, but rather a movement toward individualized beauty. And finally, in our Beauty Biz segment, you will learn why professional services are so important, especially when it comes to textured hair. So let's get started. Let me tell you a little bit more about my guest today. Dede Ford started assisting her sister in her Philadelphia salon called From Head to Toe when she was only 15 years old. Dede started by shampooing, blow-drying, applying color, and cleaning up. After high school, Dede attended the Fashion Institute, graduating with a degree in buying. Soon after graduating, she headed off to L.A. to pursue her other passion, acting. After a few years of acting didn't quite pay the bills, she realized one skill that did, and that was hair. So in 1998, 4 years after graduating from beauty college, she opened up West of Heaven Studio. Dede is also the Director of Education for the Free Your Mane line of hair care products. In that role, Dede holds educational seminars in-store for sales and salon staff alike. She is also the on-set stylist for Free Your Mane promotional and education videos, as well as a spokeswoman for the line. So welcome, Dede. Thanks for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me, Alicia. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm so excited to have you here. So I wanted to start with kind of your story and how you came from Philly to LA. I think it's really interesting that you made that transition from going to fashion school, getting that buying degree, and then becoming an actress here in LA, and then that transition to getting involved in hair. How did that all kind of happen?
It's funny you asked me that, because when I think about my journey, I think about how it really is all related. Mm-hmm. When you think about hair and fashion, it's all creation. Acting for me was creating. So I think it's kind of encompassed under the same umbrella. Mm-hmm. For me it is. It's all about creation. Like when I have a client that comes into the studio and we have a conversation, I'm always like, what am I going to create for this client today?
Right.
And then when I went to fashion school, it was the same thing. I was more involved. My passion was display and window design.
Okay.
So when you're doing that, on a mannequin or for a store, you have to be creative. Mm-hmm. You have to think outside the box, to get people to pay attention. So for me, hair, fashion, and acting, it kind of runs the gamut of creation and style and creativity. So that's probably how it all worked out for me. Initially, I came out here to act, but hair was what was paying the bills.
Right.
I still did hair on the side out of my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that was illegal at the time.
Right.
But I did it to help, pay the bills.
Right.
And I had a little section in my house, and I used to call it, hair on the side, because that's what it was.
Right. I love it.
So that's how it happened for me. And then I said, well, let me get licensed and get professional.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I went to school, and from there, worked in several different salons in the L.A. area. And then opened up my salon. But the transition was easy for me from Philly to L.A. because of the weather.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I come from Michigan, and I hear you on that.
So you know about the winters. Yeah, exactly.
For sure. So how did you put together, how did you get your own salon together after, it seems like a pretty short period of time, you went right into owning your own salon. How did that happen?
Wasn't something that I wanted, honestly. I was very comfortable with just renting a salon booth, coming in, setting my own schedule. But after working in about 4 different salons, you kind of see that some people do not run their business the way you'd like.
Okay.
And, you can work in some salons that are great, but then some of them had a lot of drama.
Yes, I'm sure.
I am not for drama. So I wanted to kind of find a space for me that was peaceful, that my clients could come to and feel comfortable, and I could do one-on-one service. I never was the kind of stylist that had 3 or 4 clients at the same time. I like to just focus on one person at a time and, kind of just bond with them and, do my work. But it was out of necessity that I opened my own salon, honestly.
Okay.
I really got fed up with some of the places I worked at, and I just branched out on faith, and it just happened.
I love it. I think that's an interesting point, though, that, some salons, that kind of environment or the culture inside that salon can cause issues. And I think it's what a blessing that happened, that it pushed you to open your own salon, because that's a major step and a great thing with your, professional career.
If you're in a bad environment, it can hinder your creativity.
Absolutely.
So I just needed to find a place that was just peaceful for myself. And then, I didn't think it would happen, but the clients came, stylists came to, work with me, and it was pretty successful from the very beginning, and it's been the only job I've actually had since '98. So I'm blessed to say that, going out on faith, it really worked out for me. Right.
I think that's fabulous. So how did you, after you started your salon, you opened that, how did you get hooked up, or for lack of a better term, with Free Your Mane? How did you get involved with Free Your Mane?
I was introduced to Israel from a friend of mine, and they said that he was, wanting to start a hair care company out of the love for his children and the concern of all the lack of products for ethnic hair and curly hair and textured hair. So we were connected, honestly, I think, by faith. Again, we were connected. We both come from backgrounds. He was in fashion, and I did, study fashion. But we just clicked immediately. So when I was introduced to him, he left me with some samples to try because he was just developing the line at the time.
Right.
And he knew that I did textured hair and natural hair. And then I also have clients that have chemically treated hair as well. And he wanted me to try his products and then give him the feedback. And I did. I used the products, I'd say in the salon for about a month and a half. And then I emailed him about what I thought the changes should be, tweak this, tweak that. And he went along with it, and he made some changes. And I tried it again, and I was like, okay, I think we can start with this. And I just got on board. They invited me to join the company. And I just started going around and talking about it and really, because I used it, I really could believe in it. It wasn't like just some hired hitchman, going out and trying to sell something that I, don't believe in.
Right.
I actually used it and saw the results on my clients.
Right.
So that's how him and I met, and that's how I started working with Free Your Mane, and I've been with them now for a little over 5 years now.
Right.
Started, yeah.
Right. And what do you think of, I think that it's really interesting that you say that it's really easy for you to talk about the brand because you believe in it and the products that he offers and the ingredients. I think the ingredient story when it comes to Free Your Mane is so important because I don't think, especially when Free Your Mane started, were people really talking about the ingredients like maybe we are now?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think we were really pioneers with that, and the sad part is we're a smaller company, so that we didn't get to take the ring on that. Some of the larger companies kind of moved in and, surpassed us in that way, but we were probably one of the first companies to start with sulfate-free, cruelty-free, paraben-free, phthalate-free. We're the first company that I'm aware of that started using across the board, even in our body line, the baobab oil from Africa.
Right.
I know argan oil was really big for the last few years.
That blew up, yeah.
And baobab oil is an awesome oil. It is high in antioxidants. It has pretty much every vitamin in it, A, C, B, 1, 2, 3, and it's derived from the baobab tree.
Right.
So we started that movement, I'm pretty sure of. I don't remember anyone speaking about baobab when we first came out.
Right,
and,
right.
Israel was really passionate about finding something for the ethnic community, the ethnic community and the textured girl and the curly girl, before a lot of people were. And it was because of the love of his children. He adopted 2 African-American children.
Right.
And he wanted to find something healthier for them.
Something that he felt good about putting on their bodies and...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because when he went to the ethnic aisles 5-6 years ago, there was very limited products.
Right.
And they were filled with things that he just didn't want to put on his children. So when Free Your Mane was created, it was first created, I say, from out of love and concern. And it just transcends to the movement now because there's so many people who are trying to live healthier lives. We want to live longer. And it starts with what you eat and what you put on your body. Right,
right.
So,
and
do
you find that in your salon, are you educating more people, or are you finding that more and more people are coming into your salon kind of educated a little bit more about ingredients and actually asking you about that kind of thing when they come in?
Yeah, I get a lot more clients who are concerned with what products I'm using. I started having a lot more clients that come in with their own products.
Oh, okay.
It never used to happen. People always wanted to use what you had. So there are a lot of more consumers becoming more educated, being more aware of what they're putting in their hair and on their body. So, yes, I have seen a little increase of people asking more. And then what usually happens for me is they have to come in and ask questions because by the time a lot of clients get to me, their hair is pretty damaged.
Oh, okay.
I hate to say it. So I have to go through an education. I have to kind of tell them why it's happening and, find out what they're doing at home and what they're not doing. So consumers are becoming more educated. They're becoming more aware. And it's really important that they do educate so that they don't continuously do the wrong thing with their hair.
Right. Right. And I think that's, speaks to that whole, in my opinion, YouTube and the explosion of information that people are getting about beauty products and, just that whole scene of women that are embracing more of their natural texture and talking about it.
Exactly. There's really no reason or excuse for people not to be informed. I think everybody has a cell phone. So if you have a cell phone, you can Google anything.
Right.
So if you do have a concern or question, you can get many perspectives, on the Internet of pros and cons. And kind of make your own informed decision, if you haven't spoken to someone else about it. So there is no excuse for us not to be educated.
Right.
I'm sorry to say that, but it isn't.
But I'm sure you still get some people in your salon who have that kind of old school view on how their hair's always been dealt with, and you kind of have to coax them into maybe trying new products and...
Sometimes it's hard to, what do they say, teach an old dog new tricks.
Right.
You do have some people who are very adamant about what they do, and they really, don't want to hear about change. And that's fine. I'm here to service people, honestly, and I'm here to inform them.
Right.
What you do with the information, for me, is up to you.
Right.
But there are still some people out there who still are using petroleum. They're still... over-processing their hair and doing things to their hair because it's always been done.
Right.
So change sometimes is easier for some and a little harder for others. But I think for the most part, the larger percentage usually take advice and listen and are becoming more knowledgeable.
Right, right. And so when you go out and maybe hold some educational seminars like in-store for sales staff and maybe salon staff, what kind of things do you kind of really want to make sure you cover when you talk to people who are actually like talking to consumers and getting that point across?
My main focus is to really let them know that I use the products. I've seen the results. I've seen the transition in my clients' hair and their scalp condition. So I want to first get that point across, that I'm not just trying to sell another product.
Right.
I have a training tomorrow, and I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm really excited to just tell them about how I use the product. A lot of times people just use it as a description on the bottle,
Right,
right. Oil, pomade.
Right.
And they really are stuck with one way. And I like to go in as a stylist and as an educator to kind of enlighten them on many different ways you can use pomade or many different ways you can use our oil.
Right.
The many usages of our reviving spray that I've just discovered in the last 2 years.
Right.
So it's fun and exciting for me, and it's always different even though it's a class. So when I go out, I just try to inform them that it's not just another shampoo, conditioning, hair care line. We don't try to make it a magical potion.
Right.
I don't think we've ever said that it will change this or do that. I just try to really instruct people on how to use it, the different usages, and if you give it time, like with anything that you're trying to repair, if you nurture it and take care of it, the Free Your Mane product line will help you with that.
Right. I think that's a really important point, actually, and I've learned that lesson myself. A lot of people want a magic potion that's just you're going to put it on your hair and suddenly you walk out of the house and you have this hair you've always wanted. And it takes a long time to repair damage.
Yeah, it does. And I think people don't realize that the damage didn't occur in a day or a week or just flat ironing your hair twice or just because you relaxed it that one time or you've done it. Damage comes over time. It's just like how you can gain weight.
Right.
People are like, oh, my God, I picked up 30 pounds. It's like, well, it didn't just happen in a week.
Yeah.
It takes time to damage your hair. Sometimes you can do it instantly, though, I will say.
That.
But you do see advertisements that say, I love the ones that say instantly repair split ends.
Right.
I love those shampoos and conditioners. I love the ones who give you 75% of hair growth in 30 days.
Right.
I love those. I want to really know who they've studied. It's just a lot of selling points that are unrealistic and they're not true, and that's going back to education is another thing that I sometimes have to inform the consumers about and my clients about, that there's no magic potion. Trust me, if there were, I would have bought stock in it.
Right.
It's the same thing with, promoting hair growth. There's no magic pill. There's no magic shampoo that's going to bring back hair loss if it occurs overnight.
Right.
It just doesn't. So I do pride myself in being honest and telling, consumers exactly what the product's done, exactly what I see, and exactly, what really works and really what doesn't. And
right.
Sometimes, honestly, Alicia, consumers don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to explain what their expectations should be. They don't want to believe those things sometimes, but it's and I think it's hard to have the patience, to realize you've got to take the time to let your hair kind of do its thing, use the right products on it, get the health back, and learn from your mistake.
Let it repair.
Yeah,
let
exactly.
It repair, be patient.
Exactly. All right, well, I think that we're going to take a quick break right here because we're going to get into all kinds of other stuff about how to take care of your hair correctly, and just especially with natural and textured hair, those special specific needs. So don't go away. We'll be right back with our In the Jar segment. So we'll be right back. You're listening to Radio AMB.
Over here. Here's a secret for a virus-free computer. ESET. They've been a pioneer in the antivirus industry for over 25 years. 25 years of innovative, top-rated antivirus protection. ESET's award-winning security solutions provide a safe online experience for over 100 million home and business computer owners. They are so affordable, fast, and simple to use. So be gone, you blue screen of death. ESET's on my computer. If it's not on yours, visit HealthyLife.net's advertiser page and click on ESET now.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need, from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
What does HealthyLife.net and Amazon.com have in common? Well, they're both available on the Internet. They both give great value. But most important, most of our positive program hosts and guests are accomplished authors, and their books are available from, you got it, Amazon.com. Now, it even gets better than that, because when you're listening on air to a HealthyLife.net host or guest, you can go directly to Amazon.com, and you can order your book while you're still listening to your favorite HealthyLife.net program. So when you hear an author you like, go to the homepage of HealthyLife.net and click on Amazon.com.
Where positive people and radio unite. HealthyLife.net.
Welcome. You're listening to Radio AMB on HealthyLife.net. I'm Alicia Benkovich. We are here with Dede Ford of West of Heaven Studios, and in this segment we are calling In the Jar, Dede and I will discuss the way the natural hair movement has kind of transcended the cultural gap and is for all people with textured hair. So, Dede, what are your kind of initial thoughts on that?
On transcending the cultural hair?
Yeah.
For me, the way the natural hair movement has transcended, first of all, I think it's just due to the realization that this natural hair movement isn't just about women of color.
Right.
It's all about individuals, honestly, with textured hair, curly hair, or wavy hair, and that includes, like, for me, all cultures.
Right.
And all ethnicities. So I think that's the first way of taking the movement and transcending the cultural gap is that I think every culture has someone in it that has curly hair.
Right.
Wavy hair.
Right.
Textured hair. And I think there's been this, like, idea for years that only women of color straighten their hair.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not. I mean, they created the keratin and the Brazilian straightening.
Right, exactly.
For, other groups. And, we're not the only one who flat irons or, wants to smooth our hair.
Right.
So I think it transcends it in that way because we have, like, this common bond that I don't think we ever really thought of before. We always thought that we were separate when it came to hair.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in many ways, but as far as the curly girl, the natural girl, the textured girl, the wavy girl, I think we're all encompassed in the same thing when it comes to hair.
Yes.
So
and
I think that's partly why.
Yeah, and I think you touched on something with, I think we're really moving towards this individual beauty. People want to be themselves. It's no more, I want to be like her. Mm-hmm. I think we're really moving into, this is me, this is part of my personality, this is who I am, and I'm going to embrace it. And I think that more women are really trying to move in that way with their overall, like you said, with fashion, with their style, and with their hair. It's all part of their individual personality.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think when we get past, like, color lines and it gets to hair just changes the whole spectrum for me. I mean, I will say that I believe that women of color probably are responsible for starting the movement.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because culturally we've always had the curliest, the kinkiest hair ever.
Right, right.
So I will say we probably started it, but now that we started the conversation, we realize natural transcends all cultures.
Right.
All cultural.
Right.
So I can speak, to anyone who has, like, natural, curly, textured, wavy hair, and it doesn't matter whether they're black, white, Latina, or other, there's an instant bond.
Yes.
Instant bond, like instant conversation about, okay, what products did you use,
Right, right.
What style, how do you style your hair? Oh, my God, how do you get your curls so nice? Or, how do you maintain your hair?
Mm-hmm.
So instantly you forget where anyone comes from.
Right.
And you talk about hair.
Yeah.
You see someone who has a wave pattern or, curly or textured hair. So I think that's helped narrow the gap and bring us all together with that conversation. Yeah.
I think that's something that I love about what's happening with hair, because me personally, being a curly girl and growing up in a family who didn't know how to deal with my hair because no one had hair like me, it's nice to work in an industry that is really embracing be you. Here's some products that's going to help you deal with your hair. And I think also this movement towards people looking into their products and looking for more natural, safe ingredients has also kind of moved over into that. Well, then if I'm looking for more natural products from my hair, maybe I should also be wearing my hair in its more natural form. It's almost like they kind of have mirrored each other.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And, I don't like to pick and choose which is better for a consumer. I know that a lot of times women, and this is just women across the board, have to deal with their hair due to work or lifestyle, and sometimes it's not as easy to be all natural for some of us.
Yep, exactly. It can be harder. Yeah.
Working out, trying to lose weight, it's difficult. So I don't pick and choose what is better.
Right.
I do say though, most of my clients, honestly, 80%, I'll say at this point, are natural. And what I mean by natural is that they do not get any chemical straightening done.
Right.
They still get color, which is not natural, but they still get color. Color doesn't change the bonds of the hair.
Right.
So most of my clients are natural. Now, a lot of them do straighten their hair temporarily with the flat iron or pressing comb or blow dryer. But once they wet it, shampoo it, it's back.
Right.
So what I love about the natural movement as opposed to the chemically straightened movement that we've seen forever, it gives a woman actually more versatility, whether they see it or not from that perspective at the beginning.
Exactly.
It really does. And once I've had a conversation with my clients and with the consumers that I do education for, it seems like it's a harder transition, but after you've transitioned, it does give your hair more variety.
Yep.
And I will honestly say, and I hate to say it, a lot of times it makes your hair a lot healthier.
Yeah, for sure.
Most of my clients who are now natural and don't get chemicals, whether it's keratin, Brazilian, or relaxation, their hair is a lot thicker, longer, healthier, and so I have to up on that. Yeah, natural. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, I mean, and that's across the board because I'm one of those people. I fell victim to going and getting keratin treatments and that kind of thing. And, I remember one day I decided, okay, I'm going to embrace my natural texture. It's been years and I had, been straightening it and keratin treatment and all that. And I remember thinking, wait a minute, is my hair not curly anymore? And that wasn't it. It had been my curl pattern had been just obliterated. And I had to, get onto the bandwagon of, okay, I'm going to put these really nice products in my hair and I'm going to take the time, I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to kind of let it be how it wants to be and, it takes time. But now I can have both because I'm taking care of it. So
exactly.
I can straighten it and not kill it. And then I can let it be curly when I want. So I think that's the key is that, oh, my gosh, the endless possibilities that women have.
Yes, when they let their own natural, authentic hair just come through. And it takes a while. And if you're, like, from my era and my cultural background, we straightened our hair early on. I mean, not in my family, we didn't, but I know a lot of, younger African-American girls, we always got relaxers.
Right.
It was just so that it was easier,
right.
To get your hair done. So as we've gotten older and this movement has occurred, a lot of women are very excited to see their natural texture. They've never seen it. They've never seen their curl. They've never seen a wave.
Yeah.
They've never seen a coil in their hair at all, other than maybe the new growth that comes in.
Right.
We always straighten right away every 6 to 8 weeks.
Right.
So it's amazing to see the results and the excitement about it, and then it gives them options to play with their hair and, like you said, do different styles, try different things.
Right.
And you can always go straight. You
exactly.
can always go straight. You don't
exactly.
have to do it permanently anymore.
Right.
To blend in.
Right.
You just don't.
Well, I think that's a great part for us to stop and move on to our next section because I am really excited. And I think you saying that women are excited for embracing their natural texture and that movement. So we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us, and we'll be right back.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easier for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com.
For all your live or pre-recorded webcasting needs, come to earthchannel.com. Get your web-based message out to a select group or the whole world. It's easy. A pioneer in webcasting, earthchannel.com provides the best products and services to big corporations and government users. And now this same technology is available to you. They have the best Earthcast encoders, servers, and products to meet your technical needs. But wait, don't want to mess with technical stress? No problem. They'll do it for you. EarthChannel.com is your answer. You can use webcasting for lots of things like advertising, marketing, customer support, training, and don't forget web radio and TV. In fact, you're listening to a live Earthcast right now. So come to EarthChannel.com. Actualize your audio or video webcasting needs today. You can't beat the friendly service or the price. Call EarthChannel.com at 1-800-849-8978. That's 1-800-849-8978.
We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
When you're looking for bedding, department store prices can shock you. Well, be shocked no more. Sell steak cheap, not cheap steak. That's the motto of Anna's Linens. Although they don't sell steak, they do sell the best bedding, bath, and home decor items. They strive to provide their merchandise at extreme value to their customers, and they do it. Great everyday prices on everything and military discounts. Plus, if you visit them online, they have clearance items and internet specials. Visit them online now at HealthyLife.net's advertiser page.
Radio your way. HealthyLife.net.
Welcome back. You are listening to Radio AMB on HealthyLife.net. I am Alicia Benkovich. In this section that we are calling Beauty That's Soul Deep, we will be discussing where the natural hair movement is going and why it is more than just a trend. So, Dede, it seems like companies are making more and more innovative products to help people embrace and deal with their texture. Is it just me, or do you see this happening across the board as well?
No, I've seen it, like I said, shift in the last, I would say, 5 years, 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I started working with Free Your Mane. I started seeing a shift with hair care lines.
Right.
Developing products that are geared more towards the textured hair,
right,
the curly hair, and things like that. I've seen the trend, definitely.
Yeah, I've seen a lot more mainstream hair care lines starting up kind of offshoots specifically for textured hair.
Oh, yeah.
And
definitely.
that's just happening like crazy. And I think that's just like reinforcing this whole kind of movement. And the fact that I think you and I were talking about how, there's actually like groups that meet. I think for some reason I feel like it happens more on the East Coast than it does here on the West Coast. But
New York
yeah, groups of women coming together and festivals, and it's like taken on a whole life of its own. I think it's amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, when I want to just touch back, when I think of a trend, I tend to think of like sometimes fashion, and then I might think of hair, because every year, like in fashion, there's a popular style,
oh, yeah,
or color of clothes or whatever on the runway.
Mm-hmm.
Then hair always mimics that.
Right.
There's always a new style with hair, whether it's the pixie, the bob. And this season, I mean, gosh, in the last 2 seasons, we've seen like so much color.
Right. Right.
All kinds of like great, crazy color.
Yeah.
Like really doing a lot with color and layer and color, and so that's been the trend. But I think I remember like when I was a kid growing up in the 70s,
mm-hmm,
like my mom and dad, they both wore afros.
Right.
They, so my sister and I wore braids. My family, like everyone I knew, had an afro or a blowout.
Right.
So for me, it's always been a movement.
Okay.
It's always been a movement.
Right.
I've never seen it as a trend, but I do know of it my whole life. Like I've always embraced natural. I had, little afro puffs as a kid.
Right.
I started relaxing as I got older, or straightening my hair permanently.
Right,
but for
right.
me, the natural movement has always been a movement because I grew up with it.
Wow, I love it.
But
Okay.
I think now what's happening is, we're embracing the individualized beauty because the movement has taken force,
Mm-hmm.
It's in our face, and like you said, the key reason is major beauty brands. They're recognizing the movement. They recognize, honestly, Alicia, the economics behind it.
Right.
There's a lot of money involved in it, so a lot of companies are saying, wow, let's jump on board. So that's why you're starting to see brands that maybe used to be geared towards another culture,
right,
are now adding on extensions to their line that deals with the natural, wavy, curly girl.
Right, right.
And I think honestly, that's taken hold. The media has taken hold.
Mm-hmm.
You talked earlier about the runway and seeing more girls of color on the runway with natural hair.
Right.
You see product lines catering to natural hair consumers.
Mm-hmm.
You see them using more beautiful images,
Mm-hmm.
Of natural hair models. And this has really encouraged the individual person
Right.
to kind of accept what they've been given.
Right.
And go all out with it.
Right. And I think, these beauty bloggers and vloggers that are starting to get big audiences, these are girls in their, in their bedrooms, like talking about product. They aren't models. They aren't being told how they're supposed to wear their hair. They're just themselves. And I think that that's really, kind of making the industry take a different look at how, what kind of women are really looking for their product.
Because, for a long time they just didn't, honestly.
Right.
I have to be really honest about that. They just really, the beauty industry just really didn't touch on girls who had textured hair.
Right.
We were never in the forefront. If we were in an ad, our hair was usually straightened.
Right.
And now, I don't care what company you look at, you're going to see someone in there with textured hair, even if it's a loose wave.
Right, right.
So, it's opened up the door. It started the conversation. And the beauty bloggers and the natural hair bloggers have really catapulted, to the awareness that actually the larger brands couldn't ignore.
Right,
you
right.
can't ignore it anymore. It used to just be in a small pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I grew up with my parents with an afro.
Right, right.
Not everybody had one, but they
right.
did. But now it's not just a small group.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely a movement, not a trend.
Right.
For me, and it flows into letting everyone be individuals.
Right.
And giving you options before that we didn't have.
Right. So, what would you like to see more hair care companies doing, like to better cater to textured hair, cater to the textured hair community? Do you see things where you're like, oh, they could do a better job, or?
Well, honestly, I've seen an explosion.
Right.
Where some companies take a really long time to get on board.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that. I mean, honestly, I went to the store one day, and now I go to the beauty supply, and it's like natural hair everywhere.
Right.
I mean,
it really has
company,
exploded.
Dede, Paul Mitchell, like companies that I never even thought would even, Clairol, that would look at, this as a movement. I don't think I can go down any aisle and not find something that says curling cream.
Right.
Or, curl revitalizer, or something textured, or, just something for hair that has wave pattern.
Right.
I think every company now has jumped on board. Some of them have really oversaturated their product line.
Right.
Sometimes it gets very confusing, and that's why I'm happy that, consumers are becoming more educated, because I have had clients who have come in with like 5 different jars of something, and they say, oh, this isn't working.
Right.
So
right.
sometimes you can get overwhelmed with products.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell people, use something for a little while and see. But I think a lot of the companies have covered everything, Alicia. Everything.
I agree. I think, you and I have actually, witnessed this, gone out to stores and exactly. Just like been blown away by how many products do they have?
12 different curl-up creams.
Right.
Which one do you choose?
Yeah, this is
really
wild.
Like I get really overwhelmed myself as a hairstylist. So for me, less is more.
Right.
That's my motto.
Yeah.
I tell clients, don't buy 12 jars of that. Don't get, if that oil works for you, then use that oil. But,
right.
They get bombarded with advertisement and media and these images, and they run out. But really for me, less is more. But to answer your question, no, I think most of the hair companies have jumped on board, and they have covered pretty much all the bases for hair. As far as the textured hair movement.
Right.
I haven't seen a lack of any potions out there for it.
Right. Right. And so just to kind of go back to something that we talked about in the first segment, and actually we can probably talk about it in our next one as well, and the fact that baobab oil has gotten so much more popular. And you said, the molecular weight of that and the fact that you use it in your salon. And I think in our next segment we can talk about that a little bit more in depth, because we'll discuss a little bit more about how you feel about owning a salon and how important it is for people to come in and actually have a professional look at their hair. So we're going to take our last break here, and when we come back, it's going to be our beauty biz section, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the salon experience with Dede. So don't go away.
Here's the thing about beauty. It's pretty. At AmericanMadeBeauty.com, we're all about the pretty, making it easy for you to find what makes your beauty shine. We have essentially everything you need, and AmericanMadeBeauty.com celebrates brands that were created right here in the U.S. of A. Imagine everything you need from the best hair, skin, and nail products to makeup and even the tools, because it's all about pretty at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. We also think you're pretty important, so visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com. Browse, buy, learn. AmericanMadeBeauty.com.
When you're looking for bedding, department store prices can shock you. Well, be shocked no more. Sell steak cheap, not cheap state. That's the motto of Anna's Linens. Although they don't sell steak, they do sell the best bedding, bath, and home decor items. They strive to provide their merchandise at extreme value to their customers, and they do it. Great everyday prices on everything and military discounts. Plus, if you visit them online, they have clearance items and internet specials. Visit them online now at HealthyLife.net's advertiser page.
We're looking for a few good American beauty manufacturers who want to increase their brand in an exclusive credentialed category. If you're an American company who has conceived, designed, and bottled brands that are all about pretty, then we're pretty sure we're talking about you. And we're pretty sure you should be on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. This beauty website focuses on entrepreneurs and beauty startups as well as established brands. If it's pretty, we want to see it, and we want to sell it on AmericanMadeBeauty.com. To learn how you can be part of AmericanMadeBeauty.com, visit AmericanMadeBeauty.com now.
Oh, man, it never fails. My suitcase just got ripped apart.
Life is a journey. Make it a pleasant one. Use Samsonite. You know the name. For almost a century, Samsonite luggage has proved itself to be the worldwide leader in innovative travel solutions. Let it be yours. Visit HealthyLife.net's affiliate Samsonite on our homepage and click to look at the fine luggage from suitcases to golf travel bags. And don't forget, take a look at their travel accessories. Make life a journey, a pleasant one, with Samsonite.
HealthyLife.net, where positive overcomes negative.
You are listening to Radio AMB, where we share the secrets behind the beauty industry. Our program sponsor today is Freer Maine. So this is the section we are calling Beauty Biz. And so, Dede, should women be doing their own relaxers at home?
I'm sorry, I apologize.
It's all right. Going right into it.
Absolutely not. Not on any level. And they do all the time.
I didn't know this. For me, that sounds like a really scary thing to do at home by yourself.
I think that's the problem. It is very scary, but people take it too lightly. And I think it's because they sell the no-lie kits, which is mostly used at home.
Okay.
And it gives the consumer this false sense of security. You know, they say, oh, it's no lie. It's no lie. I'm going to do it at home. I can do it myself. I've watched my hairstylist do it before, or I've seen it done on YouTube. I don't know.
Okay.
And I can do it myself. And sometimes it works, but for the most part it doesn't. And I don't care if you use a professional strength or you use a no-lie. It is still a chemical.
Right.
And please get informed. Google the difference. Google what it does, and find out that really they're all one and the same.
Right.
So, no, I don't think anyone should relax their hair at home. I don't even think women should color their hair at home. I think anything of that needs to be mixed and applied should be done in a professional setting.
Right.
And especially relaxers.
Right.
No matter, the bottom line is that whether you use a no-lie or a lie, it's still a chemical. It breaks down the natural hair bonds. It straightens the hair. It raises the pH out of the roof. and eventually can cause severe damage not only to the hair but to the scalp.
Right. So why is it that textured hair is so much more fragile than other types of hair?
Well, because the cuticle first is all over the place. When hair is straightened or flat ironed, the cuticle is directed in one direction, which generally is down. So when the cuticle is all laying in one direction, the hair is easier to manage. You can comb it easy. You can run your hands through it. It even feels softer, shinier. So it's easier to manage.
Right.
It doesn't mean it can't be damaged, but it's easier to manage. When you have someone who has curly hair, textured hair, the cuticle is all over the place. The curl is moving, the hair is going left, right. So when you go to comb through that, especially if it's coarse or thick, it's going to snag. You're going to probably pull out when you go to untangle it. It's going to appear more dry because the cuticle's all over the place. So when you touch it, it feels prickly like a wool cloth or something to that effect. So it doesn't have the same softness or feel. So people automatically say, oh, my hair's so dry, so dry. So natural hair needs more moisture.
Right.
It needs more hydration. And it needs more care. And I think because it's coarser, because it's thicker, because it seems stronger, because it's natural, people tend to abuse it more.
Ah, okay.
They really shouldn't.
Right.
It actually needs more care.
Right.
It needs more moisture, more hydration. And you, as a natural person, a consumer, I always tell them you still need to see a professional stylist.
Right.
You really do.
Well, I would think just for that alone, that your hair is, if you have textured hair, it needs a lot more attention, and you know, just like you said, just combing through it or something like that can cause some sort of damage if you're not doing it correctly. But I mean, I think the biggest thing for me, and I brought it up earlier, this whole YouTube movement towards, you know, beauty education you're learning online. The problem is there are these uneducated girls, like I said, sitting in their bedroom telling you things that they may not know much about. They are not, you know, truly educated.
What happens is a lot of people become specialists overnight.
Yes.
You know, because they've used some mixture of something, or they've used this oil or that oil, and they've done, you know, a twist out or a braid out, and they show you how their natural curl looks and how easy it is. And not everything works for everybody, so you have to be mindful. And, you know, I love the bloggers, and I love the YouTube.
Right.
And I think you can rely on some of those people to get some knowledge and some education. But you really should see a professional.
Right.
You should see a professional at least for your trims. Whether your hair is natural or processed, you should always go to a professional and have your hair trimmed. You should always try to seek out a professional and have moisturizing treatments done or hot oil treatments done, and just really get an evaluation from a professional.
Right.
Because I think doing it at home for a long period of time, I've seen the damage that it's caused, honestly, firsthand. Being in this business and having a salon for over 15 years and being in the business, I have seen some disasters that have come and sat in my chair. And these are people who haven't been in the salon in years. You know, they've been doing everything at home, and as a result, you know, they have hair damage, scalp damage, and I hate to say it, Alicia, sometimes I can't reverse it.
Yes.
It's irreversible.
And I think that a lot of people, they take things into their own hands, they cause, you know, they do something that is horrible, and they've, you know, ruined their hair, and then they come into you and say, fix it.
Yeah, they want a treatment. They come in right now. I need a treatment.
Right.
I need a treatment for damage. And it's like, okay, this is going to have to be a series of treatments, honestly, because that's what's going to happen, and they're going to have to be weekly. And I think sometimes I will say a lot of people will try to do their hair at home because of economics. They want to save money. They want to, you know, just, you know, get their hair done, look beautiful, and save a few dollars. But I can honestly tell you, I have never had a client that has gone home and tried to duplicate what I did in the salon.
Right.
I've even had clients take pictures of the products I use.
Right.
And they may go home and buy it. And then they say, okay, well, in 2 weeks, I'm not going to go back to West of Heaven. I'm going to do it myself. And I always hear the same thing. My hair never turns out
Yes, yes. And it seems to me really not an economic choice, especially if you do something and you damage your hair. Now you have to pay to have someone fix the damage that you made. Yeah. Whereas if you had just gone in and...
out of your pocket,
yeah.
You're going to pay because your hair is not going to look the way you want it to look.
Right.
And, you may have to even pay more because a lot of women have opted to extensions and wigs and things like that to hide,
yes.
The damage they've done. It's not like an accessory that you do just for fun. I have a lot of friends and clients, and I know a lot of consumers that now have no choice.
Yes.
But to wear a hairpiece because they've done so much damage to their own natural hair that they can't and won't wear their own natural hair because they don't feel comfortable in it. They don't.
Right. And I think that's a big thing right there is that the consumers don't understand that they could possibly do something to their hair that will permanently damage their scalp, and then there are no choices after that. I mean, very little.
Very little.
And that's, I think that's a great point that they should be coming into a professional, at least, on a regular basis, what they can afford to make sure that their hair is taken care of and that they don't lose it, they don't ruin it, they don't, all those things. So.
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard. I've heard people that have come to me and they're very happy that they finally found me because, they haven't found someone that they
trust.
That
they trust.
They feel comfortable with. So, yes, educate yourself on that as well. Research, ask other people that you've seen their hair, where do you go, and I offer free consultations just so that I can speak with someone and make sure they're comfortable and we're on the same page. But, find a professional hairstylist that you like, that you feel comfortable with, and that listens to you.
Right.
And at least try to visit them once a month, at least.
Agreed.
Find it in your schedule. Find it in your, your budget. To at least to go see them for trims, for treatments, and definitely always for your chemical services.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I think that's going to do it for us for the show today. I think we covered so much, Dede. Thank you so much for being with us. Is there a good way for people to get a hold of you?
Yeah, they can go to westofheaven.com.
Okay.
That's my website.
All right.
I do have an Instagram page, which is West of Heaven.
All righty.
And, you can go on westofheaven.com and find out where I am, read a little bit about me, and all the information is on, the website.
Perfect, perfect. All right, so don't miss our program next week where we will meet Dr. Jonas Eifert and get a better understanding of the role of chiropractic in keeping stylists injury-free. Send your questions and comments to request at AmericanMadeBeauty.com. I'm Alicia Benkovich. You can hear Radio AMB on HealthyLife.net. Thanks for listening to Radio AMB, where we think pretty is pretty important for all things in beauty.